Coming to you live, finals of the Mega Man 5 tournament here. On commentary, I'm Brett Suzo. I have Mellow Flows with me. Say hi, Mellow.
Yo, what's up, everyone? Mello here.
And more importantly, our runners are FeralPigMan and Pimal85. I think they're actually ready to go, like right now. So we're going to see them start shortly here.
Yep, countdown's already begun in SRL, so they're gonna take off right now. So like Brett said, this is the final match in the Mega Man 5 tournament, so this should be a hype one. Feral and Primal, very consistent runners who can get low times of, like in the 34-35 minute margin.
Yeah, I would expect to see some 34s in this matchup, especially from Feral's side, and then Primal has the potential at 34 as well.
And both of them will be using the beat route. Primal does the beat route. So we're gonna
they both
runners,
do that.
Yeah, we're gonna see these runners collect the 8 letters throughout the 8 robot stages. And what happens is when you collect all 8 of them, you get this little bird named Beat, and he's great at fighting bosses later on.
Yeah, in particular, he makes the final fight of the game, Wily Capsule, just a lot more consistent, and you don't have to rely on low spawn positions from Wily Capsule to do damage.
And we
if it
got
weren't for that, then everyone would probably run beatless.
Yeah, the beatless is really interesting. I've been tempted to go that route, but it's not quite there yet.
All right, they both made it through Star. That's always good to see in a race. You never know how the nerves are going to hit you.
Yeah, it's very easy to just touch one of those spikes since you have the low gravity here.
So you'll see them shooting through Starman's shield here. Looks like Primal had a nice fight. Feral's kind of getting going off the rails a little bit there, but manages to keep it okay.
Yeah, if you're sliding in Starman's fight, something went wrong.
Did they both miss gravity skip? Oh no, Feral got a gravity skip, so caught up a little bit there. I think that's like a second and a half. It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it's so silly how you could just skip having low gravity for the end there.
Yeah, it requires some small jumps basically to end the fanfare, or to begin the fanfare. All right, so if anyone's not familiar with the game, the boss route's very well established here. It's never going to change, mostly because of the weapon you see them using here, Super Arrow. It's just too useful in every other Robot Master stage not to get it first. So we go to Starman first to get that, and then just go in boss weakness order after that. So you're not going to see any route divergence or anything like that here. Just a straight up race.
Yep, pretty much all we're looking for now is more ways to use Super Arrow. But always gonna start with Starman first just to get it.
Yeah, and like just beyond the Super Arrow thing, Starman the fight doesn't speed up a lot from his weakness, and the stage doesn't speed up a lot from Super Arrow. So, well, you couldn't have Super Arrow in the stage anyway, but you can go back and play it with Super Arrow if you want, and it doesn't help you a whole lot.
And that was a pretty good stage from both of these guys. I don't know if they're gonna go for the half task fight. I think Feral might. But
yeah, I think they both missed. They both missed the regular fight script.
Yeah, I think a couple hits went into the shots.
I think Feral just realized his timer isn't working, but that's alright. We don't need it. So I guess I'm not sure how synced the video feeds are exactly here because the timers aren't both on, but They should be pretty close.
Yeah, can Feral still dot done in the SRL room? I'm not even quite sure about that.
He can still dot done in the SRL room, yeah. He's in the SRL channel, so he'll be fine. I don't know if he was trying to use live split to register, but that's fine. I think we would probably retime anyway.
Yeah, if it looks
someone
that
gets
close.
disconnected or yeah. So I think it's okay.
I mean, at this rate, it's really synced.
Yeah.
It's been synced here and there throughout the whole time. Oh, so we didn't mention with the super arrow. Of course, as you can see, it covers so much distance, but there's ways where we can stretch the ammo and energy consumption of it. Brett, you could probably explain how that works better.
Yeah, typically, well, the way that the ammo consumption works is when you're standing on the arrow as it's flying, it consumes ammo, and it does it pretty quickly. So if you just fired one and stood on it, you'd be out of ammo in like a second or two. But if you're in the air and not touching the super arrow, you're not consuming ammo. And you can actually just kind of hold right when you're on it and the arrow's at full speed, and you'll kind of like bump off of it and get kind of zipped back up onto the arrow continually. So you spend a lot of time in the air, and you end up saving quite a bit of ammo that way. And it ends up being like really useful for saving 1 or 2 or 3 arrows to do like another long arrow fly later in the stage.
Okay.
Because once the arrow starts going, it doesn't matter if you run out of ammo. You can just keep going.
Yo, I don't know about you, but I've never seen a synced gyro elevator before in a Mega Man 5 race.
Yeah, this whole stage is pretty cool. Feral had like a couple flubs, but then he caught up with his like little slightly more optimized movement. They're just synced.
And coming into Crystal Man stage, this is probably one of the harder stages in the 8 Robos. Especially if you play it by doing the beat route, which both of these runners are doing. Personally, I love this stage. It's really smooth.
Yeah, one of the things that makes skipping beat viable is you don't have to collect the letters that you might have been seeing them collect in every stage here. And that enables a skip in this stage to be a viable like option for the route if you don't want to collect beat. So you can do kind of like a it's like a death at a specific point on the first screen to call a specific RAM value into memory to skip you to the end of the stage. Effectively, though, you kill yourself in a certain way in the first screen, and you'll end up warping all the way to the end of the stage after a long wait. So it does save a significant amount of time, and it helps make skipping beat a lot more viable. But you do skip the M tank that they just both collected there. So that's a consideration later on in the run when you get into the Dark Man Castle stages, or the Blues Castle stage, I guess.
Definitely. A death wrong warp. Thank you, Mr. Cab.
Yeah.
Brett, what do you think is worse, not having beat or not having the M tank? As a beat runner, you and I personally, I would like the M tank.
Yes. Not having the M tank is, if you don't know what strats to use in like Dark 3, you're gonna have a bad day. I think that happened to me. I accidentally used my E tank in a no reset or a race or something, and I just had no idea what to do. Whereas fighting the bosses without beat isn't too bad if you've had a little bit of practice with like a Buster only Dark 2 and Dark 4 boss.
Yeah, so sometimes I wonder if there's another M tank that we can grab.
There is in Darkman 2, like Mr. Cab is saying there. But it's pretty slow. I think it costs you like almost 6 or 7 seconds to get. It's pretty slow because it requires 2 screen transitions.
Isn't there one here in Stone? I mean, in Stone?
There is one in Stone. recently, some of the runners, the tournament organizer Kaiser Krister, was trying to figure out if getting that is worth it. Oh no!
Oh man, I took that same death. It's so hard
Yeah,
to
so
judge the iframes of those enemies in particular.
I think he tanked a shot.
Uh,
But yeah, those things are instant death, like all spikes in Mega Man games, or most spikes at least.
and you can't just mash them down because in Mega Man 5, enemies, including those things, have iframes.
Yeah, I think you have to wait 7 frames between shots, which is like pretty significant. You know, that's a pretty slow mashing rate for most people. You kind of have to have a rhythm and not just push the button as fast as you can. Or
Okay,
you can mash, but you're not going to be sure which shot is going to kill the enemy.
Yeah.
Cruising.
Feral had a little scary section there with the crystal strats, but it all worked out.
He's been employing the early crystal strats for quite a while, so he knows more than a few ways to like mitigate bad screens there. You see Primal going with the safer and more consistent strat, but maybe like 1 second slower, 1.5 seconds slower gravity strat there.
I love my gravity strats. They're so cozy.
It is super cozy for sure. The crystal strats are fun once you start getting consistent with them. When you start out with them, though, they're really frustrating. All right, both guys getting a pretty good fight here.
Yeah, I would think about dropping the gravity strats here in stone, if any.
Yeah,
Seems like
so using gravity is faster, but it's an extra menu, which I think costs 1.5 seconds, a little bit less than 1.5 seconds, 80 frames or something like that. So you can save quite a bit by just skipping gravity in a couple stages. And this is one of them. I'll point out the M-Tank location here when it comes up so that people can ponder whether or not it's worth getting if you miss the one in Crystal. We got one Squeaks kill. Good. Cannot let that mouse live. Here it is, in this room here with the Metroids that Feral's in. Right there on the right side.
Oh,
in the middle of the room. Yeah, one of those blocks looks a little bit different. You shoot that with a buster shot, it'll explode and you can slide in there.
Yeah, too bad we're not on Buster by the time we get there. Or at least the way it's now.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to use arrow ammo even if it did work, because arrow ammo is, so tightly routed. And there's another one here in the Eddy room. I can't remember what's behind there on the right side, but maybe a 1-up or something. So yeah, 3 hidden rooms in this stage. Kind of a cool mechanic. There's like a hidden tunnel that everyone skips to with the... is it an E-Tank?
Yeah, I think it's...
Primal's about to go right up here. Oh no, it's the 1-up right over there on the left.
Oh yeah, wow. Wait, is there 2 of them?
Maybe there are 2, yeah. There's an E-Tank up there.
All this stuff, we don't want to see it on screen for very long. We just go right past it.
Both of them switching to Napalm early here.
Yeah, and even if you don't get that first med, it seems like it's not that bad of an option to just take the D-boost.
I think you lose time if you take that backwards D-boost over a really good gravity screen, but it's not a lot. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky. That room you kind of have to do... Oh no! Oh no!
What? Feral's back at stone.
Oh, he has 4 lives too. I think... No, there's a pit to the right, Feral. Feral, there's a pit right over there. Oh no, dude. So there's no way... There's no way to exit a stage besides game overing or completing it again if you reselect the stage.
It's rare to see a state select mishap in this game because the menu is so good, but it does happen, and you get so many one-ups in this game that it's so much worse if you find yourself in this situation. Almost where you kind of want to consider playing the stage again.
I think this is still faster. This is such a long stage.
Yeah, this is a long stage. It happened to me once on Crystal, and I just did Crystal skip. And
the other consideration is if you complete the stage, any ammo that you lose, you don't regain it at the end, and you'll be down that ammo in the next stage you select.
yeah,
It's like the boss bubbles that refill your ammo.
right, and there won't be a boss waiting for you at the end here.
Yeah, so it's almost always better just to game over. I think Feral forgot. There's a pit on the right side of the screen that you can just get up there and slide into. But these deaths are pretty quick. I think he's done. But by now, Primal is already caught up like an entire stage just from that. Oh my god, he almost selected continue too.
Yeah, Primal just finishing up Charge Man stage now.
We'll see what kind of fight Primal can get here. Kind of lured him a little bit too far to the left. Okay, so he's not going for a really optimized fight here. I think Feral may be experiencing some... He might be a little bit rattled from that here, because he missed his arrow on the screen.
Yeah, it's not like him.
Not written, yeah. He's usually pretty consistent, so I think that mistake will kind of mess with your mindset for sure. Unfortunately, that kind of menu mistake is the most common one that you can have. He's trying to go straight to the left, but he probably was just holding up and left at the same time and didn't realize it. Because you can buffer your directional input going into the stage select menu, but it is easy to catch a diagonal on accident and select not one of like the cardinal directions. So if you're trying to go west, he went northwest essentially.
Yeah, I'm having that exact opposite problem with my controller, where I can't register my diagonals. It's either one.
Your controller is getting worn out then, probably. Unfortunately. Tired rubbers or torn rubbers. Alright. So Primal does not screen watch, at least as far as I had a match with him, and he was not watching the screen for that. So I don't think he's gonna like change his strategy to kind of be safer here or anything. He's just gonna keep playing his game. But if it were me, I would definitely be screen watching, and I would probably figure out some places to make the run a little bit safer here with a lead this big.
Well, he went for bubble skip and boat skip.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. So
yeah, pulled off both of them.
I mean, it should be noted that Feral is a faster player in general. I think their PBs are separated by about a minute. So Feral should be catching up every stage here by a little bit. If they both play well, he'll probably gain, 2 or 3 seconds per stage. So maybe it's a good strategy for Primal not to let up and to keep trying to play as fast as he can to make sure he can hold Feral off. Even if you play safe, you can end up dying in some unexpected way too. So.
And Feral, of course, getting bubble skip as well, and going for boat skip.
And boat skip. Primal got the last letter here, so he has gotten beat. And now he's just chilling off screen. So one nice thing about boat skip is you don't really have to play the auto scrollers, which are generally not super interesting to play once you've done it a few times. You can slide off screen. Mega Man's sprite and hitbox will despawn. But you have to get back within the screen boundaries before the screen transition, or else you'll soft lock. But these runners know how to do that, no problem. Pretty good.
If you're like me and if you take a ton of damage in the first half of the stage, then you kind of want to farm for health before you go off screen.
Yeah, there's not really a way to do the wave fight fast without taking somewhere around like a half health bar of damage. So you do need some health going into this fight.
And Primal going into Dark 1, so pretty good. Pretty good Aerobus beside the one death in Napalm.
Yeah, unfortunately that death in Napalm is pretty slow, so I think he had like a low 19 time here, coming out of wave. And it looks like Feral's going to be about a minute behind.
And a good-looking Dark 1 so far for Primal. So Feral's gonna have to really tighten everything up from here on out.
So Primal's kind of an old school runner this game. A lot of the strats that you see him do are maybe a little bit legacy and not quite as optimized as what you might see Feral doing. He has continually run this game for the past like 4 or 5 years, on and off.
Yeah,
I'm noticing some things here and there watching Primal.
Feral accidentally went back to Stone Man stage, so he had to do a game over with the Mets there.
Yeah, he had four lives going back into Stone Man stage, Madu, so however long it takes to kill yourself 4 times to the Mets in that stage, that's how much time he lost. Probably like a minute and a half. It was pretty big. No more stage selects in the rest of the game though, so you're not going to see something like that again. The stages in general get more difficult here, so there are some dangerous spots and there are some deaths that could swing the race either way.
It would have been really interesting if Primal like missed the beat letter or something.
Yeah. I think even with that he would have been fine probably. Actually, I'm not sure if he knows how to deal with capsule without beat. That's the real deciding factor there.
And Primal really holding the pace. He's having a good Dark 2 here.
Yeah, Primal goes for a lot of like safer stuff here, so deaths just aren't that likely for him unless it's some really kind of botched input or like unexpected occurrence. So very good like race kind of strategies from him. Not a lot of variance outside of an unexpected death.
So this is the first fight that we use beat on, if you have them. The Buster fight isn't that bad, actually. But
no,
it tears them apart.
I think beat does 3 damage per hit to that guy. You can kind of see when the runners are using beat, their movement's going to look really funky because they're trying to deploy beat again after a hit. Every time beat does damage, he has to go back behind like Mega Man, like kind of above Mega Man's back shoulder and get sort of like docked there before he can be redeployed. So you kind of have to move in a specific way to make sure that beat keeps putting out the hits and doing damage. Primal's into a high variant stage here in Darkman 3. Saving some arrow ammo here for this room. So he has plenty of ammo to complete the rest of these strats here. Even uses one there on that ladder. All according to plan.
Yep, just enough to have 2 for this screen. And then what do? We refill it back up. Because Arrow's so good.
Arrow's so good, and there are 2 screens on this stage where the sort of intended way to get across them is to ride like this snake platform thing. And it's just really, really slow. So it serpentines all over the place. It doesn't just beeline it across the screen. So you'll see Primal skip another one right here. There it is. Bye, snake. It's only on screen for like 4 blocks by the time you despawn it, so that's how slow it is. Alright,
the last
Primal
screen
made it
scares me.
The last screen?
Yeah, just knowing that, you could take a hit so easily and just fall right off.
Oh man, I hate this mistake. Alright, good recovery from Feral there. That screen's really hard when it doesn't go right.
He's gonna have to do the backup.
Yeah, he will do the backup here. Just like that. Okay. Now Primal's going to his namesake stage here, Primal Tower. Let's hope he doesn't have a Primal Tower today.
Oh, he got that name because of something bad that happened? I just assumed it was a good thing.
Yeah. No, it was not a good thing. It was a really wacky, a particularly wacky way to get to die in the tower. I don't know where that clip is. It's real. It's this. We're talking like 7 years ago or something.
What was it? One of those times when like you're jumping through while it was falling down?
I think he like switched to arrow or something crazy and was trying to like do some weird stuff. It was very strange. Yeah, there's a lot of ways that the tower can go wrong. It's a really awkward stage until you like really plan out what you're going to do and drill it. Your input gets eaten on the frame, those blocks explode, and that interferes with your inputs more often than you would think if you're not like prepared for it.
And Feral doing his climb now. So far, so good. Really good. Wow. Okay,
Really good climb.
Really good.
That's basically perfect for the strats he goes for.
I think Primal did his fight a little bit safe as well.
Yeah.
And he missed a few hits. So Feral can catch up some time here for sure.
Yeah, it saves a surprising amount of time to do that tower quickly, too. Each collapse is like... Each time the tower collapses is like, I don't know, a second and a half or something, so... Feral got it in the minimum number of collapse cycles. He got the nice, super friendly pattern.
Perfect fight. Like, I just learned a way, thanks to Papat, I just learned a way to hit Dark 4 no matter what pattern you get with Beat. Because sometimes like he would jump right away and Beat would take forever to chase him down and actually hit him. But you could just like hold right so that you get close to him during the cutscene and then slide at the start of the fight. It, like always works.
Yeah, there's a few different ways to do that. I haven't seen the slide technique. Yeah, that was a very good Dark 4 from Feral. Like, that might have legitimately been a gold split for him. Or, like, tied with his gold.
Okay, Primal coming into the Crushers. This is always a dangerous room in races. And that's a perfect cycle. I would say that mashing is pretty important for that room because your mash has to at least be above average for that. Or maybe I just think it's above average because I have a bad mash in general.
Sorry, I was eating, so I couldn't respond.
Oh,
But, I think you probably want to be mashing it like somewhere around like 8 hertz consistently to get through there safely every time. And that isn't trivial, and some people can't manage that consistently. I think Mellow, that's right at the top of your mash speed, something like that.
wow.
8 hertz.
Put me out.
Something like
out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, that would explain why it's really inconsistent for me.
Yeah, Feral and Primal are mashing closer to like, I don't know, 9 or 10 hertz here, just based looking at it. Nice chicken jump. Primal's in a bit of a dangerous screen here in Wily 2. You can't jump out of a slide when there's a foreground tile on screen. And that's like some of the clouds in Gyro Man, and then the water are like the notable versions of that, and ladders, actually. So what it means is like when you're in the sliding animation, you can't jump. So you have to stop somehow. You either have to end your slide or turn around to cancel it before you jump underwater. But
I think
Primal
Feral
just
made
kind
some
of
time in Wily 1. That was a pretty good stage and fight.
Yeah, I think Feral seems to have settled back in. He's looking a lot more like his sort of normal self now. But Primal's just trucking. If Primal keeps this up, he's definitely got this race in the bag.
He was charging Buster coming into this room. I thought I was going to see something that I've never seen before.
I think he thought he was in Wily 1. I've made that mistake before. It's kind of like the chicken room, in Wily 1. You jump over a chicken in Wily 2 there, and
oh yeah,
kind of forget what screen you're on. But he remembered and recovered it just fine. Takes down Q9. Feral going for a lot of speed here in the underwater section.
And you mentioned not being able to jump out of slides underwater and in front of foreground tiles like ladders. Like ladders surprisingly mess me up all the time.
Yes, you have to plan your movement around them. If you don't like understand that mechanic, you're gonna end up like some really frustrating stuff.
Yeah, I almost want to do some turn cancels just to be.
You can.
Yeah.
Bring some Mega Man 6 gameplay into this.
Yo, shout out to Mega Man 6.
Primal's having a bit of a rough fight against Napalm here. Nothing too bad, but losing a couple seconds. And now we'll see what skip he goes for. Just the nice and easy, but at 2-arrow skip.
The only skip I know.
It's definitely the recommended skip until you're like, well, you got a 34 now, so you gotta level up.
Yeah, I gotta learn some things like that double that Primal did. It looked like he was going for a triple, but might be mistaken.
I don't think he knows how to do a triple. I can't remember, but I don't think so. Maybe he does know how to do it, because he does go for that opening double setup there.
And is that a closing 7?
I think so.
I think it was.
So you can see Feral's done some good work to catch up here, but there's only one stage left. Oh, the 1-arrow skip.
Yeah.
This is why the 2-arrow skip is a little bit safer. But gets it on a 2nd arrow.
You can make up time if you get some doubles.
Oh no.
Not like that. And there's
Not
no
like
RNG. Well, there's not much RNG with beats.
No, and Primal's really consistent with the way he controls beat, so I don't foresee too many problems here. Unless he forgets to E-tank and, you know, takes a bunch of damage against Machine or something. You can see he's being careful to dodge here, not prioritizing speed, he's prioritizing surviving. That's just his style.
Oh yeah, and he goes for that early hit too.
Yeah.
Yeah, who needs tracking? You can just get a double hit every time.
I think if you practice without tracking enough, the fight becomes pretty safe. With that early hit. I see he missed one there, though.
At least he still has all his ammo.
Yeah, so Beat can do an extra hit, not do damage, but consume ammo under some conditions. And that's usually really unfortunate when that happens. Alright, 35-36 from Primal. That is right around his average, I would say, for this tournament, so good race from him.
Yeah, I would say that's a good race time. GG, Primal.
GG.
And Feral doing the tracking technique where you want to get 2 hits per cycle and end it with tracking. They call it 2.5 hits. Unfortunately, he lost the tracking on one of the cycles, so...
Well, that's a 2.5 there.
Right there. Yep, he got it back.
Yeah. That's the spawn you want, is the sort of low one right behind Mega Man.
Like, my mistake is I always try to jump, even if it's a short jump, to do it faster, when I would be better off just standing on the ground.
Yeah, they're... Oh, come on, Feral. Get him. Nice. And GG.
GG.
Looks like his SRL time was 36:43, so they ended up about a minute apart there.
Yeah, just because we had to see that mystical game over screen in Mega Man 5 due to the stage select error on Feral's part. But yeah, if it wasn't
so
for
if
that,
anyone just rolled in here, didn't know what happened in that race, Feral he selected Stone Man again after completing Stone Man and had 4 lives, so I think he had to die 5 times to game over and get back to the stage select screen, so lost a considerable amount of time there.
yeah,
Most of the rest of the run is pretty clean, so he probably lost a good 2 minutes.
Like Mets, that's probably like the worst enemy to have to get a game over from.
Yeah, some of those like little turrets do very little damage, like the one in the beginning of Wily 3. But yeah, not ideal. I still think it would have been faster for him to go slide over to that pit, but it's hard to know how to die fast in this game when it's just not usually in your wheelhouse at all. So hopefully Feral can clean that up next race and bring this to a game 3. But right now, as it stands, Primal's ahead, 1-0. Just doing Primal things and staying steady, staying consistent, putting down 35s, and that's good enough to beat Feral if Feral has a mistake like that, especially, but even lesser mistakes.
Yeah, I want to see a good clean race this time around from both of them.
Yeah, Primal did have that napalm death in that race too. I think that was his only real hiccup. No significant, more than 10-second mistake.
Definitely a rough death to take. practicing triples?
I guess we get to see if you're right, if he knows triples or not. No, he's just practicing standing doubles, I think. On 7, on the 7 pattern. I noticed he was struggling with double hits on some of his other races too, so he might just not feel very confident in them right now. I don't think he's been like playing actively. He's just kind of coming in here and just playing. That's how good of a gamer Primal is. He doesn't need to practice or de-rest. He just kind of joins up and puts down a time within 45 seconds of his PB.
Yeah, I haven't seen him stream recently. The last streams I saw was him bringing his Mega Man 5 time down. And it's like he got that, and now he's doing the tournament. But yeah, I don't even see him grinding anymore. But I feel like he still is in the background.
Maybe. Looks like Feral got his timer situation fixed. Oh, that was a pretty cool last cycle there from Primal. And they're going to be starting their next match shortly here. I like it. Not wasting a bunch of time between the races, just getting right back into it.
Yeah, no one needs a breather or practice. And they're going to want to reset right before the match actually starts. Brett, you want to explain why resetting is important?
Yeah, it's a little bit convoluted or just complicated, but there's a cutscene that plays in this like introduction where Proto Man will grab Dr. Light and like teleport up or like jump up off the top of the screen. And that his velocity there actually like affects the weapons that you shoot in the game. Like they share the same like RAM value or something like that. So what it means effectively is that you can't do the arrow bumping strategy. I think that's for the first arrow for that one. Each arrow has like their independent RAM value that will either let Mega Man do that ammo saving strategy or not. So to prevent any hijinks like that, you just reset, don't let the cutscene play. Oh, and Feral taking a death early here already.
Yeah, at least it wasn't that far of the checkpoint.
Yeah, in the checkpoint room is always where you want to die.
But I had no idea it was that part of the cutscene that caused it, the Proto Man jumping specifically.
Yeah, it's when he grabs him and jumps. It sets something to like a high falling speed value or something. So you end up like falling fast enough or I don't know, something like that. You end up falling too fast and the arrow can't catch you, is what it ends up being. But effectively, you don't want to let that play. There are some other weapons in the game that can affect that value. And the runners do a couple things to mitigate that. Alright. So yeah, pretty fun to take a Death and Star. Not surprised to see a runner take a Death and Star, though. There's a lot of spikes.
Primal had a pretty rough Starman fight, so FeralPigMan made up some time after that fight. Oh, especially if he can get grab skip.
Yep.
Nice.
So, kind of like last race, Feral looked like he's way behind, but because of grab skip and a clean fight in this case, caught up. So that death is already kind of washed away, and they're kind of just back on even territory here. A few seconds here or there is not really a big deal this early in the run. Just a lot of game left.
And here we see again with the arrow strats.
Yeah,
I wish we
both
could
of them are
use
doing-
arrows more in this stage.
Yeah, unfortunately, the gravity flippers take that any like potential for more arrows away for the most part. So this one long room here, that's like the good arrow ride you can really get here. Actually, doesn't even save that much time, so you can do a lot of sliding there. But all the gravity flippers in this long room and all the enemies in the way make it so that you would never be able to just do a long arrow ride through there.
Yeah, and that's the room. That's the room I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's the hardest room in the stage by a lot.
And just like that, Feral already caught up.
Yeah, if he gets the half-test fight here, I'll be interested to see if they sync up. I don't think it'll quite get it. Oh, he missed it. Both
Yeah.
races, Feral went for the half-task and completely missed the sort of normal hit.
Getting an extra cycle in that one. I think the last race he had 2 extra cycles.
Yeah, I think he missed 2 hits somehow last race. If you get off track, sometimes you don't. You try to shoot the shot, and your shot will collide with Gravity Man's little like pellet, and you won't do damage.
Okay, and here in Gyro, we get to see a lot of cool arrow strats because of this nice open space.
Plenty of open spaces.
And they actually start the arrows on the elevator room. Since you're standing around waiting, you might as well get to the vertical position early.
Yeah, it does make the arrow harder to do that. Oh, and Primal making one of the classic mistakes here and shooting that arrow too low. So that's pretty costly. Feral's going to gain a lot of ground here.
I do that room a little safe, so I don't have that problem as much anymore. I just do a regular ladder hop at the start of the room, just so I'm closer to the enemies when I'm jumping up.
Yeah, you can do some things to make that safer. See how the K goes. Somehow impossible to grab in races, for me at least, but these guys... Oh! Okay. Primal, the way he grabs that gave him a second chance to get the K, so that was nice. Yeah, that one mistake from Primal looked like it cost about 7 or 8 seconds. Or at least that was the spread but after that.
Missing any of these arrows can cost a bunch of time. Of course, some more than others.
Yeah, usually the final arrows are the ones you really don't want to miss, because you don't have any backup ammo at that point, and usually it's a long arrow ride that you're skipping a bunch of platforming, jumping, enemy killing. Alright, so both runners off to a bit of a shaky start here, but nothing too disastrous. We'll see if either of them or both of them can settle into a rhythm here.
Going to Crystal, huh? That should be fine.
Yeah, I'm just really hoping for no wrong stage selects from either of these guys this race. That's such an unfortunate mistake, and it kind of kills the competitive nature of the race immediately.
If you go to a stage that you've done already, yeah, for sure. If it's a stage that you still need to beat, then it's all
that's
like
not too bad.
yeah, buster backups.
Yeah, I guess a reselect it specifically is what we don't want to see.
Oh, Primal falling off of the arrow. You got the backup.
Yeah, he knows the backup. You get on that pillar and fire another one. If you do it quick enough, you're fine. You know, that exact backup cost me my race with Primal. I thought I did it exactly like you did, but I died somehow.
Yeah, I don't even know if he did it in time. I thought maybe a crystal was gonna fall on him. Maybe he just lucked out. Gotta check it out again or something.
It does depend on where you lose that arrow or where you fall off of it, I think. So, I don't know the details. It's not a situation you want to be in. So some people wonder about like how much RNG there is. You know, how much does luck factor into these races? Not a lot in Mega Man 5, but some of the drops that you're seeing them get, these refills that you're seeing them get in Crystal Man, that's an example of some luck that can, I don't know, it can cost you a second or two, something like that in this stage.
But luck is a huge deal if you're going for a world record.
Yes. If you're not using this route with beat, luck is a massive deal.
Luck is everything.
Yeah. You have to play really well to the end of the game and then get a pattern like Becco got in his world record. Which is just bonkers. Alright. So cleaner gameplay in Crystal. Yeah, both players are playing clean. I would expect to see Feral to be gaining time in each stage.
I love how the lemon shots are spaced out to avoid shooting iframes and kill enemies fast, like the opening tigers, and of course these drills.
Yeah, and Primal, it looks like he was even going for some like more conservative spacing there, so more spacing than he needed. But last time he tanked because he shoots his jump shot so high.
It wasn't that long ago where I would just walk and mash and then do like 4 slides and then start walking and mashing again. Because you know the drill is coming.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a few places in this game where you need to count slides. That would be one of them for sure. Some of the intro screens in the Wily stages too. Just kind of have long empty hallways, and you need to know when the enemy is going to appear if you want to go fast.
And the napalm fight is one of the most fun fights in Mega Man, classic Mega Man, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's really interesting, just the way it works out, where you kind of want to get closer to him to keep jumping over the missiles, but when he starts his next cycle, you need to be, I don't know, like a quarter of a screen away, something like that, for him to shoot missiles again instead of his napalm bombs. And you want him to shoot the missiles because they don't cause lag. The napalm bomb explosions cause like a surprising amount of lag.
Yeah, neither of them got the best fight. Feral missed with the shot, so he got the those ricochets, and Primal got too close, so he got the laggy napalm bombs.
Yep. Crystal only allows one shot on screen at a time, so you have to pause to despawn it, or wait for it to expire, which you don't want to do because it takes like several seconds. Alright.
Yep, so here in Stone Man, hopefully this is the only time we see it.
Oh man.
The ammo usage with arrow in this stage is really interesting because you use it as a weapon and you use it for mobility.
Yeah, there's even some alternate strats you can do. Where you have a tighter room, the Squeaks room, you have a tighter room there because you used some more arrow ammo earlier. But either way, it's really tight if you want to go for all like the best strats and get some of like the ladder climbs with the arrows. That's a really early pause from Feral or from Primal.
I think the task has like a lucky drop routed in for more arrow in this stage.
The task has like 400 lucky drops routed in.
Like everywhere, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
the entire run is just like farming arrow drops. It's so absurd.
Yeah, we all have to switch to jet to keep that open mobility throughout like vertical movement. But yeah, the task is so cool. Getting
Yeah,
arrow
the task basically just uses arrow for, and as soon as it just switches to arrow really early, and it just uses it for the whole stage and kills enemies to get a big drop and more arrows, and it just saves so much time. Do a bunch of screen wraps with the arrows, which aren't really very RTA viable. So it is one of those games where the task doesn't really translate to RTA friendly strats in very many places.
Yeah, the task is just too lucky.
There are some places you can farm lucky drops in this game. So Charge Man, Gyro Man, and Stone Man, kind of as you mentioned, the last arrow, you can kind of kill one of those lyrics in such a way to farm a drop. And then later in this stage, the Feral's in here, Charge Man, at the end of the chicken room, we call it. Or even a little bit after that, they'll be looking for some ammo drops so that they can use an arrow on the final screen.
Right, and that's the only ammo drop fishing that I've ever seen for RTA at least.
The gyro one is before the stomper on that screen where you kill the turret. Most people don't go for that anymore.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody do that.
It's kind of tricky. So is the Stone Man one. This one's not as bad. If you get a drop, it's a lot easier to execute the extra arrow. So that's why you'll see most people go for this one.
But yeah, I do remember the comparison video that Baron Haynes made. Looks like a really cool strat.
Neither of them got any lucky drops there, so I guess it's nice and fair race. See how powerful the charge busters there on primal screen. Just take out 3 guys at once and don't even allow them to fire a shot. Clear your path out and remove a ton of lag and all in one go.
I think Feral had a perfect fight.
I wasn't watching. Shame on me. We'll see what chat says. I'm sure someone noticed. Feral is pretty good at that fight, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, he is. Primal had to do some extra pauses, but not too bad.
That's a good fight for the strats that Primal goes for. Okay, heading into the last Robot Master stage. Come on, Primal. Select a wave. Please. We can have ourselves a nice clean race here. Okay. Primal even went for a really conservative stage select there. Left then down.
Okay, let's see if Feral gets bubble skip. How many frames do we have to land on the small bubble?
It's like at least 6, based on the room timer practice hack.
At least 6? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty big window.
Yeah, that's a lot more forgiving than I thought.
I mean, it sounds like a lot, but it's awkward because the way you shoot the arrows, the way you jump,
Oh no!
That is the worst way to fail without dying or falling off the 3rd screen bubble, I guess. It's a pretty classic way to fail this trick, unfortunately. Oh no, that's way too late. Get over there.
Wait, what's happening? What?
Okay, good. That's actually a better outcome than falling back down.
Yeah.
Whew.
Has to wait for this one now.
I'm glad he recognized it. He went for that back up way too late. Alright.
And he's
Yeah,
forced
that's...
to ride the boat.
I can't remember. Well, without
Without arrows, yeah.
without any skips, that mistake costs like 25 seconds or something. It's a lot, unfortunately. So yeah, you get to see a boat ride here. The intended way to do it.
Yeah. He should have missed a letter since he knows that part of the stage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to use the boat in this run, you're in trouble in a race setting for sure, because it's so easy to not get boat skip for one reason or another. All right, so like an 1836 kill for Feral. That's pretty good. You know, that's like 34 pace for sure for him.
Okay, I was worried a little bit, but Primal got the letter.
He's got it. Oh, he forgot how to do the end, but that's okay. Still has enough health here. If he doesn't take a bunch of damage from this turret. Well, these turrets only do like 2 damage. Oh, you don't really want that refill at that point, but oh well. Big refills cost, a full big refill costs you 40 frames of downtime in this game. So 2/3 of a second.
Yeah, that is
1928. So about 50 seconds between them, I think. Sorry, I keep talking over you, Mello.
Oh no, don't worry about it. What you're saying is much more interesting, I assure you.
People want balanced commentary.
Look at the pink sky. Check. Did you guys see that? That's so pretty. Oh, by the way, this is such a good stage. Not only does it have a pink sky that looks really nice, the music slaps.
Why have I never thought to summon Rush to the right there? Anyway. That's a very obvious and good strat for that turret rune. Alright.
Yeah, I always summon Rush too late and I end up jumping on him. You need to just jump.
So if you summon to the right, you don't have that possibility at all. And there's no reason to be facing left because you're falling for a while entering that screen.
Exactly.
So that's a much better strat if you're going to go for that kill. That might revive that strat for me then. I
usually just slide and jump over the turret.
Yeah, that's what I have been resorting to for the races at least. It's just a lot more consistent, just like Primal did there.
Yeah, what Primal just did.
So... yeah, looks like a solid dark one from both of them. Primal with his little bit of hiccup here. Both races, Feral had trouble with that rush jet jump on screen 2 of Darkman 2 stage.
Yeah, I like how Feral does that though.
Yeah, it's really specific, and if your timing is a little bit off, it's like kind of impossible to do.
I'd rather do that than let go of the ladder on that platform in the middle and jump off of that. For some reason, that just feels really awkward.
You need to play Mega Man 1 more. Because that's a strat you use all the time in that game.
No, thank you.
That's like a strat that like Cool Kid dominates, even in like in Mega Man 3.
At least in Mega Man 3, you can
splice together that stuff.
You usually want to like menu at one of those areas, so you can just press pause.
Usually, but not always.
Yeah.
I was just commenting on that, but streamer X Christine put together like a spliced best room from all the top 5 runs for Mega Man 3, and it was really cool to see like which runners were getting good rooms and where.
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, in the conveyor belt room. Very common death to take.
Yeah, that exact death is a reason why some people just don't slide there.
But yeah, I wish someone would make a video for all of the Mega Man games like that. The top 5.
Well, Christine said it took 20 hours of work, so
Yeah, I would
like,
imagine it'd be pretty hard.
it's yeah, that's a half of a full-time work schedule week. It is very cool though. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to approach some of these stages, some of these ladder climbs. Ladder climbing is pretty slow in this game. Can cut a lot of frames with the way that you like approach ladders. When you grab it, do you use arrows to climb it? How full of a jump you're getting with your arrows, all that stuff. Surprising amount of variance in that, just in the movement. Alright, Feral, let's see what you got for Dark 3 here.
Right, so it's not even making that video for Mega Man 5 wouldn't even be viable unless it's all routed the same.
Correct. We would need 5 top runs of the same route for it to make any sense. Feral cruising in Dark 3 so far here.
Yeah, his dark stages have been looking really strong this race.
This is kind of when he settled in the last race, so hopefully he's got some confidence here.
I always like to stand on the back end of that arrow just so I could get a longer slide. Like when runners do that, I always get scared because I feel like they won't be sliding long enough.
The window is really big, even if you're standing there. It looks scary, but it's not too bad. It's a really good Dark 3 from Feral there. The issue with standing on the back of the arrow that can come up is you can fall off the back of it on accident if you're try to get to the back too early while the arrow is accelerating. The arrow can kind of pull out from under your feet and you'll end up just standing there not knowing what to do because you'll be out of ammo and or maybe dead.
Yep, that has happened to me. or I like try to tiptoe there so slowly and safely that I just get hit by whatever that enemy is called because I'm doing it so slow.
Yeah. So my guess is that's why Feral just kind of stands there like a third of the way up the arrow. He's fine. He'd rather just time out the slide than mess around on the arrow and maybe fall off. Alright, it looks like Feral didn't have quite the godly Dark 4 tower that he had last time, but still pretty good.
Still has a pretty dominant lead.
And Primal's through the Widowmaker as well. The fight can get pretty wacky in Dark 3 still, but
yeah, Primal
hopefully.
got frozen last race. Looks like, yep, he got it. And Feral had a really good Dark 4 fight.
Yeah, again, she's just the king of Dark 4 right now. Alright, so let's see the capsule close timing. 26:52. My favorite timing method.
Ever since I joined the Mega Man community, I wonder like how certain timing conventions came up, like timing, splitting on the capsule.
Oh, he's alive.
Yeah, it looked like he got squashed for a second. But yeah, splitting on capsule closing, I always thought that was weird. And it's just
where would you split?
On like Fade to Black or something.
That is the community timing. It's after the capsule closes when Mega Man disappears. That's the community timing. That's on like the community best golds spreadsheet.
Okay. when I first learned this game, I was trying to split on capsule close, and it felt like harder to time for some reason.
Yeah, I'd say just go with whatever feels comfortable to you. I like the timing methods where you can kind of see an object heading towards a fixed position. I find that easier to time. So like Mega Man landing after the teleport, or going off screen, or the capsule coming down and closing. You know, it's like a constant speed thing where it just goes bunk. Probably my my baseball days coming into play. 28-28. So they're about a minute and a half apart. I think Feral was 26:52. It's kind of a mirror image of last race then at this point, I think. Feral might have caught up a little bit more by this point. Oh, and Feral taking it nice and easy at the end of Wily 1 there. That screen's pretty terrifying. He was missing some health too. So that's a pretty smart move.
Yeah, and if he has a good fight, there'll be no stopping.
Oh,
Right when I said that.
oh, well, he's fine even if he takes another hit. Oh wow, just had to get one last troll in from Big Pets there. Blocked his shot.
That ladder that Primal's going up on now, that ladder in particular, I need to stop sliding into. Unless I do a cancel or something, because I can never jump on time.
The one at the end of like the thrower room.
Yeah.
Super skipper guys. Yeah. That one, you either need to let your slide just end at the wall, or you need to jump out of your slide really quickly. It's faster to jump out of your slide quickly, but man, you're only sliding for like 2 or 3 frames before you jump or something. It's really fast. Maybe more than that. I don't know. Maybe it's like 10 frames, but it's quick. Whew.
Primal having a good crusher as well. Oh, failing chicken jump though. What do we do?
I think they both did. I didn't catch Feral's chicken jump, but he was missing some health going into this last screen.
Feral made the jump, but the chicken turned around and threw a baby at him. I don't know if that counts.
Dude, Primal's in kind of a rough situation here. We'll see what fight he goes for. His health is very low for any kind of conventional fast fight, so he's just going to do it the sort of intended way. Ugh, it's going to get like 4 cycles here.
That was really sketchy.
Yeah, he was fine, but it was starting to get sketchy if he missed that last shot for sure. All right, Feral's just cruising here, so we'll see how the last 2 stages go. Basically going to require a death from Feral to give up this lead though, and he has his E-Tank still, so... And Primal managed to save his E-Tank even though he went into that fight with low ammo. So yeah, Feral should be in pretty good shape here.
And RNG could still help out Primal with like the press fight, but it shouldn't be that much.
No. You're only talking like a max of like 10 seconds or something, with maybe like a mistake and bad RNG. There are some mistakes you can make here in Wily 3 though that can cost quite a bit of time. Oh, the skip just not working for Feral on the first try again. Alright, he got it first try on his second arrow. Again. Ooh. Alright, that opening double just has not been working out for Feral this match so far.
I was wondering why Primal had such low health. He M-tanks after the chicken.
Yeah, it's a little bit slower to do that usually, especially if you're taking damage there. But it will make this fight a lot safer, because you'll for sure have max health going into it. Alright, it's not the greatest Wily 3 from Feral, but definitely good enough. Keep his lead.
He still skipped refights.
Yeah, that's a... The refight skip is a nice, even 2-minute time save if you get it on your first try.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about it because it's so normal to us. Like Mega Man 5 refight skips. It's great. Look it up.
Yeah, I mean, it has been part of the run for 6 years now or something like that. So this is the finals, but if there are any new viewers, skip the refights here. You had to fight one. And Napalm ends up being the most convenient one because you can shoot an arrow from this ladder at a specific height. Which Primal was having trouble getting to. There's a few different pixels that work there, so Primal didn't have to be that finicky about it, but he might only know the one, or be confident in the one. Primal got a nice opening double there. Feral's well into his capsule fight here. He is just cruising. He's on his way to a high 34 if this fight goes well.
He got his tracking back on that cycle, so that's good.
Yeah, the fight becomes a lot safer if you have beat tracking. So you know where capsule is going to spawn. You can avoid damage. Alright.
Yep, so GG's on split.
GG.
On spawn.
Yeah, 34, 46-ish, 47-ish. Very nice race time.
Yeah, that's a really good race time. I'd love to have that as a PB.
So with that, I think we have a Game 3 coming up. Which is very fitting for the finals.
Oh, and we can't use Primal's audio for some reason, so...
Yeah, sorry. I think
it's okay.
Primal's audio isn't working, so we're just gonna have to hear the credits music instead.
Oh no, we can't hear it because we marked Feral the winner. So it automatically tries to switch audio. Okay,
there we go. Sorry about that. You can blame me. I don't know what I'm doing.
No problem. I'm just glad you're the one doing the commentator controls. I have it open, but I'm not even haven't even looked at that tab since this thing started.
I didn't record the last race, but I recorded this one.
Oh, Primal, one of those hits went into iframe, so he lost some beat ammo. So he's gonna switch to Buster or Gyro to finish this up.
It's like Gyro.
Yeah, might as well just be Gyro since it's only 2 hits left. What is...
Yeah.
He's probably dead by now. Okay.
There you go. Well, Primal had a slip up in the ISRL channel, but its official time is 36:44 in there. But yeah, I was closer to a high 30. So kind of mirror image races there. High 36s for both of them so far, both with some kind of unfortunate issues. So have not had a nice clean match between these two so far. I'm hoping the third race it's a little bit cleaner.
I don't remember like any major problems that Primal made though. How did it?
What happened in that match?
Away.
Didn't something happen? No, something really unfortunate happened. The bubble skip miss, I think, was probably the biggest thing.
Yeah, just like nothing death.
I can't remember if he died though.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember death in that one.
So yeah, you better believe he's gonna practice bubble skip for this last race. Whew.
I actually like how he does the second room of bubble skip. I used to do something similar to that, where you get the arrow stuck to the wall on the left. There's the wall on the left isn't across the whole side. There's only a little part there where you can actually stick the arrow to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a setup that maybe Joka really was pushing for at one point.
Oh,
I don't
really?
know. I think there's like 5 or 6 different ways that people do that room.
Yeah, I saw a version that Chrissy did that involved sticking it to the left wall, and that was like my only reference when I was picking up bubble skip.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things. You can use like 2 arrows to kind of delay, 3 arrows to delay, 1 and stick it to the wall.
Now I just do what Feral does. In a lot of places, I just picked up what Feral does.
Not a bad person to learn strats from. He does go for some really high level stuff that's a little bit tricky to learn, but a lot of his stuff is, he's really consistent with it. So, if it's working for him, should work for a lot of people too.
Like at first, I wanted to learn what Papat does, but I feel like Papat stuff is really fancy. I don't need to be fancy to make it more.
It is. Papat definitely adds a lot of like actions per minute to his strats, and
yeah,
a lot of times he is saving frames with those, but for a new runner, it's just really becomes really intimidating to try to do all that.
Yeah, I feel like Feral's stuff is really practical, and obviously they're fast because Feral has a lot of turn cancels as well. And
he's worked them in. Once you get into the 33 territory, you start thinking about stuff like that for sure. Good Mega Man 6 training too.
Okay, so we're actually going to a game 3 here. Let me see if they have another race room up.
They do. And looks like well, pretty soon. It's gonna start.
Oh yeah, and speaking of fancy strats, Papat's Napalm Man fight. Oh my god.
Yeah, he basically was like, how do I add in 1,400 slides into this fight? And then he figured out how to do it.
Okay, so the countdown has started, so our runners will take off any moment now. Good luck, guys. This is game 3. It's the last game.
Since Papat's not here, I'll echo his sentiment of watching different runners approach the napalm fight is really interesting because there's so many different ways to do it. You kind of get a feel for how that runner plays games by watching how they do the fight.
Alright, and we're off. Looks like we got some... Ooh, Feral getting some bad asteroid RNG at the end there.
Yeah, this first screen of Star is really frustrating in attempts. Can get you stuck in a reset loop here if you're having trouble getting out of Star. Sometimes the asteroid will block you, and you're losing a second in the first room, and you just gotta reset. Especially if you're on the level of these guys in the 34-33 range.
Okay, Feral had a little sketchy, yeah, that room there where he took the death in the last race. He didn't die, but it was still sketchy.
Yeah, it's interesting. It seems like, man, Primal just like, he hits go and he's just fine. But Feral's been having to sort of like ramp up a little bit and settle into each one of these races.
And Feral takes a D-boost at the end of that up and down room. I picked that up, but I'm not sure if I want to keep that part.
I think it ends up being very similar time-wise. It's been a long time since I looked at that. I know Baron looked at it way back in the day, but I think it's kind of a pick your poison thing.
Yeah, he doesn't even go for like the reverse D-boost. But
yeah, he just goes for just boosting.
And I know...
I think it can be faster if you get the fast knockdown.
Yeah, the fast knockdown and the fast gravity. Like, I don't know what the deal is with that.
Ooh, Feral not getting graph skip this time, so costing him a little bit here.
At least no deaths in Starman stage, and we're pretty even going into gravity.
Yeah, it's always good to get that first stage out of the way.
And that first room is so nice when you kill both of those enemies and don't get hit by the dropper.
Yeah, it feels good every time you get that. You have to have some pretty tight movement to pull that off, and you know, you got to hit all of your bullet slides. Ooh. Oh, both of them with a really high arrow. And two different ways of dealing with it.
Yeah, Primal managed to sneak by, so his was a little bit faster.
I think it actually ends up being very close to the same for those two different approaches. Just because Primal was like so far to the right when he exited his arrow.
Oh yeah, because you do kind of have to get off the arrow as fast as you can.
Yeah. Oh, some forbidden notes from Feral, so he'll feel a little bit ashamed, but he'll be okay.
Oh, he gets the half-task fight, though.
And that almost completely caught him up. That was so cool.
Okay, so
I don't remember what the half-task saves. But it does end the fight quite a bit sooner, because you don't wait for that like last gravity flip. And gravity kind of takes a while to do that. Looks like it saves a full second based on the room time sheet. That's the time that Feral has in there, and no one else is even within a second of it. So.
Oh, Feral has the fastest gravity fight?
On that sheet, I don't think anyone else has even, completed the half-task fight. Is Primal too high? No, he's okay. His screen cutoff's a little bit different than what I'm used to, I think. Or that was the very highest pixel. Oh, look at the sync. Again, maybe we'll get another synced elevator.
Yeah, we'll see how the letter goes.
Man, you can just see Feral's movement just gaining him a little bit of time here.
The slide chains are huge in this stage.
They are, for sure. There's a lot of slide chaining. Okay, it looks like they both survived. Primal's feed continues to be a little bit choppy, but yeah, they're both alive. So pretty similar to the first race here.
Elevator's not completely synced, but still pretty synced.
Yeah, pretty synced. And Feral fell behind early in that first race, and then caught up in these next two stages last time.
Okay, hopefully they both respect the iframes in this fight. This is an exact ammo fight, so you want to make sure that you don't shoot too fast.
Yes, you have a small window in which you can fire early before Gyroman's iframes expire, and you'll still do damage, but it's super sketchy to go for that.
Oh, is that just because of the way gravity works?
Yeah, it seems like gravity is like actively hitting an enemy for, I don't know, 4 or 5 frames, something like that. I haven't confirmed the behavior, but if you watch the life bars really closely, the life and ammo bar, you'll see sometimes the ammo bar go down before the boss's health bar.
Oh yeah, because
And
I
that's
remember
how
in Stoneman stage. In Stoneman stage, I used gravity, and it picked up the big mets, but it left the babies.
right. If you fire too early, I think that can happen.
Yeah. So like
The reason it carries away the babies usually is because it's active for a few frames. So it'll kill the big, like the dad, papa, or the mama met, whatever. And then it'll kill the babies right after that. Whew.
yeah,
I'm having another sketchy,
he had to do the backup again.
yeah, chopper room. Is this just the first race again? Oh no, that was the second race he did that. So it's a mashup. Small things like that. Primal left one of those like little rotor guys. I think that's what they're called. Those like wheelie enemies alive. Cost some extra lag in that room. Both of them getting that tricky rush jet jump there.
It really sucks to mess up a rush jet summon in a race.
Yeah. Usually it takes you a bit to recover, and you gotta despawn and respawn them. You end up losing a few seconds. Feral's first shot was a little bit laggy there. He hit up a little bit too late. Pretty clean otherwise, and really clean race there. What happened to Feral in that stage? Did he have to do a backup Feral too?
No.
I would have
I
expected.
don't think he did.
I guess
Primal
maybe
had
he
that
just
spike, though.
gained a little bit there. Primal did the backup. That loses a decent amount of time. That might account for the lead growing there. All right, Napalm Man.
Napalm Man's pretty straightforward stage. Not too difficult. Maybe the waterfall room do mess up sometimes.
Yeah, the sort of cave waterfall room can really turn into a disaster.
And we did see a death here to the drills.
We did, but okay. Primal gets through there this time.
Okay, I saw the wall with the E-tank. There is an E-tank wall.
This is a different stage though. This is Napalm, not Stone.
Oh my god.
They kind of look similar though, the background. Like yellow stone background tiles. Man, I really wish we could have saw some sync coming into here so you could see how Crystal and Gravity compare a little more closely, but we're pretty close together here. Feral, I'm telling you, you have to shoot that second shot to save lag there. He doesn't believe me.
The second shot to shoot the enemy's projectile or something?
Yeah, the projectile. There's a lot of lag there from that explosion. Said, oh, I never looked into that. Like, what? Why are you even doing that strat if you didn't look into it? Anyway. That was a really sick fight from Primal. I don't think that Napalm reached the peak of his jump before he killed him there. That's super, super tight to get. Unless he messed... I don't think he messed up the fight, no. Yeah, no way.
Yeah, I don't think he messed it up.
That was cool. Alright. Back to the infamous Stone Man stage.
And Feral jumping over. Primal.
Yeah, I think both these are going to just jump over the Mets everywhere. They don't want to deal with the sort of random pattern that can happen. So when you kill like Meth on land in this game, 3 little babies pop out and they bounce at random heights. I think there's like a low hopper, a medium hopper, and a high hopper. So if you want to then kill them after that, you kind of have to mash in a certain way, jump in a certain way. It can be tricky to manage. But it is a little bit faster to kill all 4 Mets like that.
And that's part of the reason why I say they're the worst Mets, worse than dancing Mets in Mega Man 4.
I mean, they require more shots than dancing Mets for sure, and the targets aren't staying still, so it's even harder. So I think I agree with you there.
They cause more lag. A charge shot doesn't work. And yeah.
Noted New York Mets fan, Mr. Cav, just having to root on his team at any mention of the word Mets. Alright, these guys are cruising. They got through the hard parts of the stage that can kill you. Well, you can still die in this last room. I shouldn't say that so soon, so hopefully, though.
Yeah, if you ever find yourself on that... Oh, just like this.
Yep.
If you ever find
end up down there,
bottom routes, something has gone wrong.
Alright, Feral hopefully will approach this safely. He's fine. Okay. Sometimes Stone Man can give you kind of a mean pattern where you can risk getting hit if you let him trap you in the corner, but he claps at a good time to let him really time out that last one. Ooh.
Yeah, if you need to slide under him, of course you want to get a higher jump so you have more time. I've definitely died to Stone Man a couple times.
Yeah, that stage, it's a death by 1,000 cuts kind of stage for sure. Sometimes where just take damage here and there. Like Feral, I think, ran into some of the Mets on the first screen. That's why he ended up having low health going into that fight. Alright, let's see if there's any luck to be had here in Charge Man stage. Feral had a really high arrow here. Had to slide under both lyrics. Primal with one of the perfect arrow heights where you can just chill.
Forgive me if I'm wrong, but sliding on the arrow causes lag?
It does. Any movement on the arrow causes lag if there's enough enemies on screen.
Okay.
And there's a lot of enemies on screen on Charge, like everywhere. Come on. Oh!
Primal getting the lucky drop, so I'd like to see exactly how much time this will save.
Ooh.
Is this?
Well, especially because Feral's struggling here, it's going to catch him almost all the way up. He does have a menu to do, but so does Feral in the middle of the fight. So,
yeah,
especially because Feral had a rough room that really caught Primal up. It's super nice because that room is not trivial. So when you get the arrow and you get the placement, you can just relax and rest assured that your room is fast. Nice kill by Primal there at the end to save some lag with an early shot.
And you can just start the fight with the Power Stone weapon.
Yeah, you just end up doing that menu early to get the... You'll end up with 4 damage after Charge Man charges towards you either way. So it just kind of works out.
Yeah, I should probably practice that fight with Power Stone right away in the, for that event when you get the lucky drop.
It doesn't take too much practice. It's very similar to the Buster Opener, like timing wise. You just jump over, then fire, then pause. So, not too bad. It's really nice in that way. Like that's definitely the friendliest like lucky arrow drop strat in the game. So arrow is a little bit tough to get. You have to get it pretty high, but not too high. And then, but that's it. Just one arrow.
Okay, looks like, yeah, both of them got bubble skip.
Good boat skip setup here from Primal too. Nice.
Yep.
Oh, this is a pretty sick race. So Primal just with more steady gameplay, and Feral's been having like higher variance gameplay. Sometimes he's playing really fast, and sometimes he's kind of struggling.
Yeah, pretty volatile. Makes for an interesting third race.
Oh,
tinking the charge shot. The only charge shot you get on this guy.
yeah, that's 3 damage lost. Can't remember. I think this guy has 20 health. Octoper OA, I think his name is.
And Primal had a pretty good Octo fight. I always just measure how far Octo moves from the left, if he gets to move from the left side at all.
Well, if you're really good, he doesn't even get to the left side at all.
Oh,
it's really hard to get to fight that good. But yeah, that's a good way to measure. And then you need to pay attention to whether or not there's a lag shot on screen to end the fight too, because that'll cost you a lot of time.
hey, I just started doing boat skip, so I'm getting used to lemons.
That's I think the hardest fight in the game, personally. So
The Octo fight?
I wouldn't sweat it. Yeah, to get like a really good one. It's really fun, but it's really difficult. 1828 kill in the corner. Should probably look at the teleport time because Primal got a center kill here, which is going to slow down the fanfare a bit. 41. 44. Very tight race. Definitely Primal's best 8 robos of this match so far.
Yeah, I want to say this is the closest going into dark stages.
Oh, definitely. Both of the races had runners having issues in the robo stages. So it's nice to see them both get a relatively clean robo. An 8 robo time here. And now they're going into the stages that are even harder.
And let's see if they could both get the crouching tiger hidden rush jet. Okay, Feral got it. Oh, Primal.
Primal, I think, summoned just a bit too far to the left.
Yeah.
He has an interesting like hop strat going on there. Yeah, you want to summon that jet as far right as possible to give yourself a big window to get under that tiger. Primal's not taking any other damage so far. He's even getting some health refills, so he should be okay for the boss fight. And I think he does a damageless version of the boss fight anyway.
Yeah, I think
We'll see Feral go for he'll take 2 damage boosts. And the reason he does that is to get the boss closer to the corner to despawn the bubbles when he explodes. Oh, well, he didn't really get it there. So
yeah, that's a center kill. Primal getting a side kill. I don't know if that was intended, but yeah.
I don't think so, but it ended up working out okay. Got him closer to the left there. So the fanfare just happens at a fixed time after the boss kill. So the priority in this game is to minimize lag by killing the bosses in the corner, despawning those bubbles as soon as possible. Some of the other Mega Man games, the boss fanfare doesn't start until all of the bubbles despawn, so then in those games you want to kill the boss in the center, like Mega Man 3 and 4. Alright. This is still a really good race.
I like Mega Man 6's the way the bosses and fanfare begin. Just jump to the right side of the room. Save lag that way.
So that's a fixed timer too, right?
Yeah.
You wanna kill the bosses in the corner and then like rub up against the wall to save lag for some reason. What a weird game.
Okay, so we didn't get any deaths on the conveyor belt room, which is nice. I hate that room.
Yeah, I didn't see if Primal went for that slide again this time, but I wouldn't be surprised if he cut the slide there. It really doesn't save that much time, and it's super dangerous if you don't get a good landing spot on there. You end up getting stuck really early and you can't jump if you slide on one of those platforms.
Right, because there's one like right above you, like sucking you in.
Yeah, it's like a one tile gap, so you end up like getting stuck in like that tunnel type of situation. So they go for slightly different style fights here. Primal goes for an easier fight, a little bit slower. It has less damage, but neither of them got the fight they were going for. So probably the lead is staying pretty steady here. Whew, what a game 3.
Yeah, Feral's fights, well, the Beat fights, he tries to get these perfect cycles with Beat, and it looked like he missed one or two in that fight.
He missed one. The ones going to the left are pretty hard to get. When Jogger Robot, whatever his name is, Darkman 2 guy, starts walking to the left, those ones are tricky.
I like to just stand close and just let Beat go at him over whenever.
Oh, Feral with the same mistake, but his arrow was higher this time, so he's able to get onto that platform easier. Nice recovery.
Primal doesn't even use an arrow in that room, so he doesn't have to worry about running low.
Yeah, it makes the room a lot more consistent to use Buster there. That's part of, he's kind of doing a hybrid strat. That's what we used to do way back in the day, where we didn't even use, I don't even think we were using too many arrows in the
he had so much ammo.
Oh, Primal.
He had a lot of ammo, but somehow messed up the setup here.
The stage is just so easy to make a really tiny mistake, and Primal's not even messing with trying to slide on the spikes or anything there. He's just gonna jet over everything.
I don't blame him.
So, okay. I was gonna say, Feral, you need to turn around. You're on the high pixel. Whew. I'm getting legitimately like nervous here. The stage terrifies me even when I'm not playing.
Yeah, at least we didn't have to ride the snake.
Ooh, Feral's in a bad spot here.
Oh no, that's like the worst death you could take right before the bot.
Oh my god.
So that puts him all the way back to this first instance of the snake. Yeah.
Oh man. That's very unfortunate. But we call this stage the Widowmaker for this reason. Some people think it's pretty easy, but sometimes in a boss or like in a race setting or a tournament setting like this, it just goes off the rails like this.
This room right here, I don't even
spicy.
Do without arrow. Yeah, what he just did, jumping over the turret like that.
Jumping over that turret is really risky. A nice and easy backup is using gravity there, but he may not know that or may not be interested in that. He does know this jet backup though. I didn't see how he actually died. Did he not turn around?
Yeah, he
that
didn't turn
last-
around. He
Ugh. He
yeah,
had the high arrow and
held
didn't
right.
turn around. That's very unfortunate.
Oh dang! And he just said he was on PB pace in chat.
Yeah, he was. He was having a really good race. He's keeping up with Feral. I mean, Feral was making a few mistakes, but he was keeping up really well. This game, man, it's hard. 3 races in a row like this. Weird things are going to happen. So all 3 of these races have had something.
Yeah, and the end game in
It
this run is no joke.
is definitely not. Even this tower climb can claim a life or two if you're trying to rush it or get off cycle a little bit. Primal was practicing this before this race, so I think he'll be okay. Yeah, his jump just got eaten there by an explosion, I think, or he was a little bit early.
Man, the hitboxes on those blocks are just weird. Like sometimes I feel like I could see my lemon go right through it, and I don't mean when it's falling down.
You're correct. It does happen sometimes. I can't remember under what conditions. I usually see that happen in Stone Man stage before the letter grab, more than I see it in the tower. But those hitboxes are weird for sure. So you're not imagining it.
Okay, good. Because I've been complaining about it for just a year now.
Whew, alright. At least avoided some Darkman 4 deaths. Those can be pretty costly, too. Especially if you die in the fight, because you have to redo the tower.
Yeah, he took a lot
And
of
you-
damage there. Oh, Feral. Okay, getting the second try. Got the second try on that arrow.
Nice. Still saved 5 ammo there.
And I still can't count energy.
That was 5. Oh, you can't count that? You gotta,
I can if I really try.
you gotta run the game for another year, and then you'll be able to count.
That's
Yeah,
the
I don't
thing.
know.
Like I'm
I
playing.
don't count. I just
Like,
look, and I can see how tall the bar is, and I just know if it's like 4 or 5. Just got to stare at the game a lot. All right. Feral made it through.
Yeah, let's see if he has a good big pets fight this time around.
A late death in this stage is one of the remaining kind of disaster deaths that Feral could have gotten. So I'm sure he's relieved to get through it.
See, what happened to Feral, I feel like that happens to a lot of runners that do that version of the fight. Just falling off after you zip for that
Yeah.
final hit.
It's really hard to execute that fight on like a race setting like this or on PB pace. It's one of those fights that's like very rhythm based, so it pays to kind of like drill it every once in a while if you're, going through a PB grind to make sure to like kind of really solidify the rhythm into your muscle memory. That tends to really help with that fight in particular.
Okay, and I feel like these blocks in the Crusher room, they behave normally. I don't know if it's
I don't think I've ever had issues with those ones not getting shot. I think it's because you're shooting from farther away, though. I think the issues happen when you're too close to the blocks when you fire your lemon.
Yeah, the Crusher blocks were always fine for me.
Alright, so Primal made it through too. Oh,
Same thing.
he's just they're a little too slow on that last shot, and then you have to do a really quick slide to get off there before you get hit again. Oh, chicken ride, no.
A snipe.
The chicken ride feels super good when you're on a good pace and you get that strat. It's kind of a finicky little strat. You have to have some specific movement.
Yeah, it's really easy to take damage from the chicken there.
Feral? Okay. Just gonna take an extra cycle. So there's a version of that where you can stay on the right platform and get that last hit, but Feral always gets off that platform. Oh no!
Oh man. Yep, like
And
we
that
said,
was...
can't jump out of slides underwater.
Yeah. So Primal was a little bit too far right when he landed on that platform.
Yeah, it looked
And
like
then
during
his slide...
his slide
yeah.
chains, there was some walking in between.
Yeah. So you can't have both of those things go wrong, because then you'll end up dead like that.
Yeah, that platform is like perfect for 3 full slides if you land all the way, if you start all the way at the left. But very easy to just slide off.
Yeah, usually... I think Primal would usually do this too. If you notice he's like, his slide chains aren't good, usually you just kind of cancel that third slide. Don't go for it or just cancel it so you don't have to deal with that. Well, nice opening 7 there. Didn't go for the triple for Feral. He had a much better time with refight skip this time though. So overall, Wily 3's gone the best it has for him so far in these races. Oh, I shouldn't have said anything.
Tank. It's going for a double though.
Yeah, I think he still has plenty of ammo. Let's see if it's a closing 7. Always. It's always a closing 7. Thank you, Wily Press.
He has a reputation to uphold.
Yeah. To be fair, the 7 is a 50% chance. And the 3 and 5 are 25.
That's ridiculous.
Because the developers knew.
The developers knew that people wanted to go fast.
Yeah. Well, as a from a casual perspective, I think that's the easiest pattern to deal with. You have a lot of time to prepare. So you'd have to recognize that that's the maximum number of like back and forth cycles you can get.
Yeah, no one knew that.
I'm sure there was some kid out there who figured it out. Alright. Feral. On to the last fight here. Just needs good beat control. He has plenty of health and an E-tank here, so should be in good shape. I don't know if he's screen watching, but there's not a whole lot you can do at this point to speed up the race anyway. Just gotta try to get these 2 hits per cycle.
I want to see more 1.5 openings in attempts and races.
It's so volatile. So it's a little late to talk about this, but there's a variance in the amount of time that Beat spends at your shoulder before he attacks. So it makes that strategy pretty inconsistent. Oh, is he going for it?
He lost some ammo.
No, I thought he was just going straight up for the... Oh.
Well,
this is not ideal from Feral. He has such a big
like,
lead that it's
yeah,
it's
it doesn't
fine.
really matter.
GG.
I like the hybrid strat where if you switch off of Beat, you can recall Beat and make him hit Wily as he comes to you from the top. But yeah, GG Feral. Feral takes it. Takes the whole tournament.
That was a wild set of races. Every one of those races had some big kind of time loss involved in them. And that last race was really good up until that.
Definitely a roller coaster.
3.
And that's why we had 3 matches. That was a crazy set.
really cool final match there for sure. I'm glad it wasn't just a one-sided thing for on either side there. Got to see how both runners handled mistakes. And looks like Feral is joining us.
Yeah, what's up, Feral? GG.
Thanks.
That was a crazy set of races, man.
Yeah,
Oh, but it is fun to watch. Yeah.
the state select at Stone, like, I mean, that's the major one that sticks out to me.
Yeah. I've accidentally selected Stone before, but usually only when like going to Gravity. I've never had that kind of a random diagonal. And it was unfortunate, but you know, it is what it is, I guess.
Well, you survived the next two. Were you screen watching, by the way? I'm just curious.
No, I had
Okay.
the chat open, but that was it.
And GG to Primal.
GG Primal. So that none of those races, went smoothly for both of you on any given race there. So they ended up not being very close at the end for any of them. But that last race was really close up until Dark 3. It was really, really nice race, but Primal had a couple of big mistakes. I think he died on the very last screen before the boss fight there.
Yeah, he died right before the boss.
That just kind of created a huge separation.
Yeah, he was on PB pace before that stage. But because he also missed the double arrow setup at the first snake. He had to start riding Brush Jet.
Oh man. Dark 3, man. It's truly impossible.
So Feral, what are your thoughts on the tournament and the outcome?
It was a lot of fun. Definitely. Glad we finally got to do a Mega Man 5 tournament.
And coming into this, I heard that you have like a great reputation in races, consistency in events and stuff. So no surprise you're taking it.
Yeah, I think it's somehow I don't know. I usually just don't make too many big mistakes. At least, I mean, you saw like those races were.
You really brought your A game to the Papat matchup, and that's when you needed your A game. So you took care of business there. And then Primal was a good opponent, but he's not as fast as Papat, obviously. But some of those races could have gone either way through about half of the game, and then just you guys are making mistakes in sort of the mid game either way there. So very interesting set to watch for sure.
Yeah, I would definitely watch it back. There was a lot of syncing up at different places in the robos. Very interesting to see.
I'm absolutely convinced that you got a Dark 4 gold on that first race too, so gotta time that.
I'll have to watch
That's a
the
perfect
VOD
tower
back
and like the
time
perfect
it.
pattern. He just stood still for you.
Yeah. I was definitely standing like a little further away, I think, than I had to for some of those. So
not perfect iframe coverage. All right, don't even time it. Just throw it in the trash.
Yeah, Feral definitely did it better than that. I've seen some crazy climbs and fights in his past streams.
I'm not sure if we're going to get Primal in here. I don't see him around anywhere.
I do want to take the time to thank Kaiser Krister for setting up the tournament, and for SpeedGaming for allowing us to race on your channels.
Yeah, definitely. And even though this was the first place match, there is a third place match that I think is yet to be scheduled between Kaiser Krister and Papat.1. Hopefully that's coming up pretty soon here. Scheduling gets pretty difficult, but that should be coming up soon. That'll be the last match here. Oh, there's Primal. How do we get him an invite into here? I don't remember anything.
I think it's supposed to send him one. When maybe if I think it's supposed to send him once it's marked as done, but we can probably maybe DM him the invite.
I have no idea how to get an invite to this channel.
I have one because they sent it to me. Let's see if I can find them.
Okay, that would be helpful. I think our speed gaming helper isn't here, and I think Chrissy is usually helping with that too. Yeah, that was super cool tournament.
Yeah. So what's next for you, Feral?
There we go.
Well, I think that's it for MM5 for me.
What?
But I've been deresting X2 and SMRPG. So,
Yeah. Welcome Primal and GG to you as well.
GG Primal.
Perhaps his microphone is not working yet, but hopefully he'll get that working.
All right. So Feral, you got your 33. So yeah. So you're saying bye bye to Mega Man 5 for now. You get your 33 and you win the tournament. That's a good year.
Yeah, the 33 is definitely the goal, and then this is the tournament's the cherry on top. I would have stopped back when I got to 33, but obviously this is still going. So
Yeah, we did have a nice burst of Mega Man 5 activity. I would expect it to really die down after this, but it was really cool to see a lot of people picking up the game, new runners and old runners like yourself and like Primal. He hasn't even done anything on Twitch in a long time. This brought him back. Well, he was kind of playing anyway, but he stuck around for the tournament. That was really cool to see.
Yeah, I think he said he took a 4-year break, or at least that's what he said during the relay race.
Yes, it was something like that for him and me. Brought me out of retirement.
Nice.
Too.
You guys got to set up the next tournament.
No, I'm good. I like the tournaments, but they're kind of stressful for me, and it's hard for me to schedule around my my kids and everything. You have kids too, Mello, but you seem to make it work.
I know what you mean.
I don't know if Primal's mic is going to be working here.
Like it looks like he's talking, but no sound's coming.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think.
Is there anything else you guys would like to add? Feral shoutouts? Anything?
no, I mean thanks you guys for commentating, and yeah, thanks Chrissy for setting everything up. It's definitely a lot of fun for the whole tourney. So hopefully people will stick with M5, but
Primal. Nope. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Technical issues. His internet seemed to be pretty spotty throughout the races too, so maybe it's just not meant to be. Yeah, it was really fun to commentate some races here. Fun to watch. Cool tournament. We should do it again sometime.
Good set.
Mega Man games need more love.
Well, Chrissy said there's another one coming up, so looking forward to that. And everyone, yeah, drop these guys a follow. Great speedrunners, great streamers.
Any last words, Feral? You want to say for your fans, your adoring public, first place tourney guy?
32 soon.
no, I mean, just make sure to follow Brett Suzo for the 33 grind coming up.
Oh man.
And yeah, thanks for watching, everyone.
Yep, thank you for having me. And you guys take care. GG's again.
Yep. Have a good weekend, everybody. See you later.